So I've made over $1.7 million selling simple ebooks online. And I honestly think this is one of the best business models to get started right now. Even if you're not a writer, it is faster than ever to create high quality books thanks to the rise of AI. I'm not a professional writer, but I've published a ton of books under various pen names, and these aren't crap books either. They are high quality books that gets real 4 and 5-star reviews. So in this video, I'll show you my step-by-step process and how you can do it too. By the way, if you don't believe me, I literally posted a video going over my actual tax return, and I show you in this video how I made over $1 million profit in a single year. So when I say I made over $1.7 million, that is total, okay? Not per year, but I'm not lying over here, okay? I've actually made a little more than 1.7 million, but I'm trying to be conservative with my math. So if you don't believe me, even after I show you my literal tax return, then to be honest, there's nothing I can do. But if you do believe me and you want to learn how this works, then in this video, I'll show you that. So in this video, I'll show you step by step how to research and create your ebook, best place to sell it and why, and how to actually make money from it. So if you're wondering why I make these videos instead of just doing the business myself, right? The answer is I do both. I do the business myself and I can keep making money from it, which I do, but I can also make money teaching it, right? I, make super small amount from YouTube AdSense, which is basically nothing, but I also coach people through my paid coaching program if they want to take this seriously and if they want to scale this business. And obviously I make more money there. So basically I had an option of doing this myself, keeping this secret to myself, not telling anyone about this, not helping anyone with this, right? And just make money myself. Or I can tell people about this, teach people how to do it, and help people get results with this, make money and change their life, and get paid that way too. So I'm like, okay, make money without helping people or make money helping people, which is cooler. Probably the helping people, right? That's why I'm doing this. But just because I'm on YouTube teaching a business model, a lot of people automatically assume that, I'm a fake guru and this and that, right? Which if you do believe that's the case, that's completely fine, right? But for those who believe me, this is how you do it, okay? So step 1 is topic research. So the biggest mistake most people make is they write a book in whatever random topic that they think is cool, right? Without doing any research. And then they're like, okay, I wrote a book on this. How can I make people interested in this book? How can I get sales? And this is the most backward thing that you can do. So you did zero research and you're wondering why no one wants your book, right? So that is like opening a store in the middle of nowhere without checking if there are actually customers there. You're basically doing the same thing. So what you should do instead is check if people are buying books on the topic first, and then you go and create a book on it. This is how you can ensure that your book will sell before you even make it, okay? So the first step to that is you want to brain dump. So write down any ideas that comes to your mind. Passion, hobbies, interest, anything, right? Go and take out a pen and paper and start writing it down. And you can also use AI for this brainstorming process. But basically, you want to look for micro niches. So when I say micro niche, I mean, don't just go into weight loss. That is like the broadest niche ever, right? But try and break that broad niche into smaller micro niches. So instead of weight loss, do weight loss for a smaller niche. And when I say smaller niche, it could be an audience like weight loss for women, men, weight loss for beginners. It could be different topics of weight loss like ketogenic diet weight loss, right? Atkins diet weight loss with the vegan diet. There's so many different niches you can go into. So you could do weight loss for women over 50, weight loss for beginners, weight loss with intermittent fasting, and so much more. So let me show you how AI can help. Okay, so I'm in ChatGPT right now, and I asked, can you give me 50 ebook topics that are in demand that I can write about? Okay, very simple prompt. And just like that, we got 50 topics that you can write about, right? So self-help, productivity hacks, building mental resilience, time management, and much more. So we got finance and business, side hustle ideas, beginner's guide to investing, personal finance. In the health and wellness, we got meal prepping, intermittent fasting guide. That looks pretty good, right? Beginner's guide to yoga. Gut health, that is a hot topic nowadays. Mental health as well, right? We got relationships and parenting, creativity and hobbies. So we got 50 topics just like that. And from here, you can niche down even more. Like, this one is hormonal balance for women. So you can niche down into different audiences, like plant-based diet for women, right? I could do intermittent fasting for women specifically, or for men, or for seniors, right? There are different audiences you can niche down to. So once you have a list of topics, then you want to go and validate this on Amazon. So you want to search for the topic on Amazon. Next, you want to download this Google Chrome plugin called DS Amazon Quick View. Just look it up on Google, okay? It's free. and it'll allow you to check how well the books on Amazon are selling. It'll allow you to see what we call the BSR. This is for bestsellers rank, okay? Bestsellers rank is how Amazon literally tells you how well the book is selling. And with the plugin, you can start seeing that, okay? And you want to look for anything below 80,000 because anything below 80,000 is doing well. If the BSR is around 80,000, that means the book is doing around $500 a month. If it's a lot lower than 80,000, it's doing a lot more, like thousands of dollars a month. And if you're wondering why do we want to do our research on Amazon, well, that is because more than 74% of all US book sales are made on Amazon. Like, it's not even close. Okay. The second highest one is Apple Books at 11% based on this, chart here, right? So it just makes no sense for you to do your research based on other stores when most of your sales and your income will come from Amazon. So you want to go where the money is. If you're trying to sell ebooks, right? Amazon dominates it, so you want to sell it on Amazon. So in terms of validating, this is how you do it, okay? So in my case, I typed in intermittent fasting for women because that's the topic that I'm checking. If you're checking another topic, then you type in whatever topic, and you'll get to a page like this. So this section right here, what you're seeing here, this is from the tool DS Amazon Quick View, which is this one right here. Okay, so once again, just look it up. It's completely free. And it's telling me that this book is 1,724th best-selling book in the entire Amazon store. So that's what BSR stands for, right? Bestsellers rank. Now I have another tool called BookBeam, which is a paid tool, so you guys don't have to get it. But this one tells me the BSR, but also how many sales it's making a day, and also how much money it's making in actual royalties per day. Right? So this one book is making $70 every single day. So $2,100 in a month, which is pretty good. And it's way below 80,000. But this is how you want to keep checking each one. And you want to make sure other books on this topic are below 80,000 BSR. So this one, A Woman's Guide to Intermittent Fasting or Fasting, right? It's 200 BSR making $1,000 every single day. Okay. So this is proof right here that intermittent fasting for women is a profitable topic. So let's keep going, right? This one, intermittent fasting for women over 60. So now not only is it niching down to just women, but also niching down even more to women over 60. And this is selling really well at way below 80,000. So 25,000 BSR, $54 every single day, right? Just from the paperback too. There's other formats that you can sell your books to, which we're going to talk about later on, with just 36 reviews, very, very little reviews, right? So this tells me that intermittent fasting for women is a profitable topic. So that is how you validate a topic before you go and create the book on it. Don't just write up a random, book without checking this, right? And then wonder why your book is not selling because, of course, you didn't check first. So now that we know that intermittent fasting for women is a profitable topic, step number 2 is to actually create the book outline. So this is an important step because a book outline is basically a skeleton of the book, right? If you start writing the book without an outline, you're pretty much all over the place. Like you don't even know where to start, what to cover. You're just free flowing and that's not good, okay? You should have a structure to follow. And when you're creating the book outline, the biggest thing to understand is people buy books to solve a problem, okay? No one just randomly buys a book on intermittent fasting for women. It's like they buy a book on the topic because they either want to learn about it, and the reason why they want to learn about it is because they probably got some sort of problem that learning about the topic can fix, right? If they have hormonal imbalance or maybe they're looking to lose weight, and perhaps they heard that intermittent fasting is a good way to do so, and that's why they're seeking the solution, right? If someone buys a book on weight loss, it's because they're overweight. If someone buys a book on mental health and lowering anxiety, it's probably because they're struggling with it, right? Or they want to keep improving on it. So people always have a problem and the reason why they buy the book. So ask yourself, what problems are the reader trying to solve by reading this book? Okay. You want to be very, very clear on that reason. Okay. And then you want to also check competitor outlines, their reviews. You can also ask AI, but get as many information as possible and compile that into your outline. So let me show you how that works. So basically, open up your competitor books, right? These are the books that we just checked, and you're just gonna click on read sample. And these are the table of contents, and you can get ideas. I'm not saying you should just rip off your competitors, right? But if these chapters are in your competitors and you're writing the same book, it's here for a reason. Like they did the research, so it would be smart for you to also consider these chapters. You also wanna scroll down and read the reviews, right? And read the positive reviews and whatever common things people are saying positively about this book. book, the common patterns of what people liked, try to incorporate that into your book as well. Read the negative reviews and, see the common things people didn't like and try to avoid that into your book. You can also use ChatGPT to get ideas for your book outline. By the way, I forgot to show you this part for getting book topic ideas, but essentially you can take your main topic, in this case, intermittent fasting, and just ask ChatGPT to break it down into sub niches. And just like that, I got like a huge list of subtopics like intermittent fasting for women, men, seniors, busy professionals, fat loss, muscle gain, hormonal balance, those kind of things, right? So that is how you can get even more ideas. I just forgot to show you this early on. But anyways, to get your outline, you just ask, help me create a detailed 8-chapter or whatever chapter you want. 8 is a good, starting point. 8-chapter book outline for intermittent fasting for women. First, please tell me what are the 3 to 5 biggest problems the readers are facing and looking to solve by buying a book on this topic. So just like that, we got hormonal imbalance and weight loss struggles, right? I can see that. It gives you a little bit of explanation here too. Low energy, fatigue, and mood swings, fear of slowing metabolism and muscle loss, emotional eatings and cravings, and confusion about how to start safely as a woman. This is something that I hear as well. So you always want to fact check, what AI is saying. Sometimes it's not correct, but this sounds pretty good to me. So based on that, I followed up with this prompt, which is, okay, now please create a detailed 8-chapter book outline that solves exactly these problems. Every chapter should be focused on providing a step-by-step solution to these problems. Okay. And just like that, we got chapter 1, why intermittent fasting works differently for women, different subsections here. Chapter 2, the hormone-friendly fasting blueprint, different subsections, like even the key points, step-by-step solutions, very, very detailed. We have chapter 3, chapter 4, right? Burn fat, not muscle. Chapter 5, chapter 6, all the way to chapter 8. So obviously you will have to fact check each one, and also don't just copy paste, right? As always, you want to improve upon what AI gives you. AI is just a foundation. It's just a tool, right? From here, you will add your own input, add your own chapters, whatever chapter you liked, you put it in here, right? And you also might want to remove something based on the reviews that you read earlier. So that is how you create a custom outline that is specific to your book. So this is what I mean by we use AI to create better books, actually good books, right? Because AI is super useful in doing research. Like we're not just spamming low quality crap over here, right? Like we are actually using AI to make even better books. So the biggest thing I want you guys to keep in mind is you want to solve the problems that you identified in your book. Okay, so your sole focus should be to help readers solve these problems that you identified. And then you want to create a book outline based on that. That is exactly why we identified the problems first, right, in the first ChatGPT prompt, and then we asked ChatGPT to create an outline specifically to solve that, okay? So as an example, the problem was hormonal imbalance when fasting. So the solution, the chapter we should have inside our book is how to do fasting without messing up your hormones. So now that we have a detailed book outline, we can move on to step 3, which is crafting our book title. So for the book title, I recommend the PRS-TM title formula, which is problem, state the core issue, result, show the outcome, and system, hint at your method. So let me show you some examples. So if our book topic is intermittent fasting for women, right? A good title would sound something like intermittent fasting for women, a science-backed system for women to lose weight, balance hormones, and boost energy without strict diets, okay? A bad example would be something like intermittent fasting for women, learn about fasting and weight loss. The reason why this is bad is because the subtitle does not state the core issue, right? It tells me a little bit about, I'm going to learn fasting and weight loss, which I guess is the end benefit, but it's super vague and it's not hinting at our specific strategies. Another example is if your topic is decluttering, okay? A good title would sound like how to declutter your home, a room by room system to clear clutter, organize your home, and create lasting peace in just minutes a day. The bad example would be something like From Chaos to Calm, a book about organizing and decluttering. The reason why this is bad is because same thing. It's not stating the problem it's solving. It's not giving me the end solution or, giving me a picture of what I'm going to learn here, right? It's just a book about organizing and decluttering, like super basic, okay? And it's not giving me any ideas of the strategy the book is going to teach me too. All right, so with these things in mind, let me give you a pretty crazy ChatGPT prompt that applies this, okay? So this is the prompt. Based on the outline, please create 5 book title and subtitle following the PRS formula. Problem, result, system. The title should be clear and not fancy. Include the main keyword of the book, intermittent fasting for women. The subtitle should further clarify the problem and the solution and sell the book, okay? So Just like that, we got Title 1, Intermittent Fasting for Women. Lose weight, balance your hormones, and boost your energy with a female-friendly fasting plan. Pretty good, I would say. Okay, Title 2, Intermittent Fasting for Women over 30. Burn fat, fix your hormones, and feel energized with a cycle-synced fasting method. I love this subtitle, right? And this whole women over 30 thing, if it's not your audience, if you're doing women over 60, or if you just want to remove the age, do so, right? That's what I mean by you got to edit AI content, but it helps you so much in getting started. So Title 3, Intermittent Fasting for Women made simple. A hormone-safe plan to lose weight, boost metabolism, and stay energized. And we also have 2 more titles here. So those titles were pretty good, but obviously you want to tweak it from here, just like anything else, right? Improve it. You can use AI to generate the first draft, but you want to improve upon it. You know, too many people just look at what's selling and then they just rip it off and make a shittier version of it. And then they try to sell that and wonder why they're not making money. Well, it's because you didn't focus on quality. You're just focusing on ripping off what's working, right? That's not what we're doing here. We're learning from what is working, right? We're getting ideas from it. We're modeling it, but we're creating our version that is unique and also better than what's already on the market. So that's the mindset you want to have as you move forward with this. But step number 4 is creating the actual book. So there are 2 ways you can create the book, okay? Number 1, you can write the book yourself. Number 2, you can hire a ghostwriter. When it comes to writing the book yourself, obviously this is free, but it takes more time. And that's the thing with business. You have to choose, do you want to spend more time to doing something, but save money? Or do you want to just, pay money to save time? And I'm going to give you an example of that later on. But when it comes to writing the book yourself, you can start writing it with the help of AI. And if you would do that, then I recommend you break down each section in as many details as possible. So instead of thinking I have to write a whole book, right? Because if you think about it, it's kind of overwhelming. Like, oh my God, I got to write a whole book. But instead of thinking that way, think I'm writing a few pages on this subtopic. And then once you're done with that, you write the next couple pages on this subtopic. And once you're done with that, couple pages on the next one, right? And then on and on and on until you finish writing the entire book. And by doing so, it's a lot more manageable. So this is how you do it, okay? So this is the prompt. Let's go back to the outline and start writing. I want you to write the draft in as much detail as possible so I can improve from there. Focus on providing actionable, practical information instead of surface level fluff. Please start with the introduction. So we have the introduction section written by ChatGPT. I think this is pretty good. It's a pretty good start for an introduction, but from here, you have to tweak it. You have to improve upon it, right? But it's a great first draft to go off of. And then you'll repeat the same process for the next chapter, next chapter, next chapter, and go one section at a time until you're done with the whole book. And if you're saying, oh my God, Sean, this takes so much time, of course, right? We are creating a good product, a legitimate product, and a legitimate business, okay? So, of course, something takes time, especially because you're trying to save money. You can actually skip this whole process by spending a little bit of money. But if you want to do anything for free, then you're paying with time. But if you'd rather save time by paying a little bit of money, then you can hire ghostwriters, which is what I do. This costs money, but it's basically done for you, right? You still have to work with the writer, go back and forth, make sure that the book is good, but it's way more hands-off than writing the book yourself. And if you're like, oh my God, using a ghostwriter, isn't that scammy? Isn't that unethical? Well, guess what? What do all of these books have in common, right? All 5 of these books. We got John C. Maxwell, super popular author, right? Stephen Covey, once again, very, very famous author. This 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, this book is like one of the top selling self-help books of all time. We got Richard Branson, we got Hillary Clinton on here, and pretty much all politicians, athletes, musicians, all their books are all ghostwritten, right? They all use ghostwriters. It's a very, very common practice. So using a ghostwriter, once again, is a very common practice in this industry. It's completely fine because you're essentially hiring someone to put your ideas into words. So they're still following your outline. It's still your idea, but they're just helping you write it. So, it's not their book, right? Just like writing a book with AI is not an AI book, it is your book that you used AI for help with. So that is how you want to look at it. But essentially, if you want to learn how to use ghostwriters, then I do have a step-by-step tutorial. So I'll leave a link to this video in the description below. So now that you have the book written, the next step is to format the book. So what is formatting? Well, formatting is basically making the pages look nice. Okay, so some videos will tell you that you can use Canva to format, but do not do this, okay? If you watch other YouTube videos, they'll tell you use Canva to format this and that. You definitely do not want to do that because we want to format our books in a Amazon approved way. Why is that? Well, like I said earlier, you want to go where the money is. Most book sales are being made on Amazon. So obviously you want to be on Amazon, right? So you want to format your book in an Amazon approved way if you want to make the most amount of money, of course. If you don't care about that, then do whatever you want. But if you're watching this to make life-changing income, which I hope that's the case, right? That's why I'm teaching you this, but then you want to do this. So when it comes to formatting, the easy way to remember is there's 4 parts. You got the cover page, introduction, main chapters, and the conclusion. And once again, I do have a step-by-step tutorial on how to do this. I'll just leave a link in the description below. You guys can go follow that because if I try to show you how to do this step-by-step in this video, it's going to be way too long. So book formatting, just like any other steps in the publishing business, there's a free way of doing it if you want to save money, or there's a way to outsource if you want to save time. Okay, so if you do choose to not do the formatting yourself, and if you just want to pay someone else to do it, then these are the best options. Okay, so if you go to Fiverr, there's a lot of gigs that'll do these things for you, but I'll leave a link to 2 of the ones that I recommend. If you want to invest a little bit more money for premium book formatting, then this is a good one. It's $90, but you can see that the interior looks pretty dang nice. And if you want something a little more on a budget, then this gig right here will format your book for $50. Once again, I'll leave a link to all the resources in the description section below. But that takes us to step 6. So after your formatting is done, it is time to create your book cover. So book cover, very, very similar. You have 2 ways. You can design it yourself on Canva if you want to, save money and do it yourself, or you can hire someone to create the book cover for you. For the DIY option, you do have to learn how to use Canva. You do have to learn design skills, right? But it's a good way to start for free and kind of, get it out there. So if you want to follow a step-by-step plan, once again, I got a video on that in the description below. And if you do want to hire someone, then Fiverr, once again, is a good place. I have a video on the best budget Fiverr gigs. So you can actually hire designers for as low as $5. And so this video will kind of show you the best ones under 20 bucks. And of course you can pay more. There are people that are more expensive and oftentimes it's higher quality, but that's something that you can do as you make more money. Then you reinvest back into the business to get a better book cover. But in the beginning, if you want something more on a budget, then this is a good option. These are some examples of what you can get for this price point. So this gig will make you a book cover for just 10 bucks. And the samples look pretty good, right? These are some of the recent orders. So this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. This is another one that'll create a book cover for $35, specializing in nonfiction, business, and self-help books. And this is how it looks. All right, so once you have your book cover, then we have all the files that you need to upload your book on Amazon. So that is step 7. Once again, it is an absolute no-brainer to sell on Amazon rather than anywhere else because there's another statistic that says nearly 40% of when people spend money online, when people buy something online, 40% of that is on Amazon. So if you look at it, this top one is Amazon, and the second one is Walmart at 6%. So it's not even close to Amazon. So it just doesn't make sense. If you're trying to make money, you want to go where the money is, and the money is in Amazon. And the best part about this whole thing is that it is free. Okay, anyone can sell their books on Amazon. We go through this program called Amazon KDP, and Amazon KDP is completely free to sign up. There's no monthly fees, nothing. You just pay a small cut once you make a sale. So unless you make a sale, which means you're getting paid, you don't pay Amazon, okay? And on top of that, Amazon does everything for you. Like they print the book for you, they ship it out for you, they even handle the customer service after the sale is made. So in my opinion, it is pretty crazy how much they do. And that's why I say this is one of the most beginner-friendly business model because a lot of these things you normally have to do if you start any other business, right? But with Amazon and KDP, they do everything for you, on top of giving you millions of customers that you can tap into by selling on Amazon. So anyways, in terms of the process, you want to sign up to Amazon KDP. So just go to Amazon KDP on Google. You'll find the site. It looks like this. You can create your account, okay? You want to enter your bank and tax details so you can get paid. And once you get into the dashboard, then it's time to upload the book. And for this one, I'm just going to leave a link to my other tutorial on step-by-step how to do this because once again, the video is going to be too long. So make sure to follow that and upload the book. All right, so after this, your book is going to be live on Amazon. So what's next, right? Well, if you did a good job, if you followed the video, if you chose a book in a profitable topic, you made a good book cover, and you also made a good book title, basically an attractive book, right? If you do everything correctly, then you actually will start making sales. I cannot guarantee anything, but most likely you'll start making sales in the first couple days. And these are organic sales that you're making that is 100% passive just by being on Amazon. But if you just upload and forget about it like this, and you take this approach, then yes, you'll make sales here and there, but most likely you're not gonna be making thousands of dollars every single month, right? So if you're happy with just making 50 bucks a month, 100 bucks a month, then you can just make a bunch of books, upload, forget, and do nothing. But I'm sure, if you're here, you wanna make 10K a month or more, you wanna change your life. So if that is the case, then you will have to do the next step, which is marketing. So you want to do what we call a book launch, which is pushing the book in the beginning by getting reviews and sales. And you want to do this in the first 30 days because in the first 30 days, Amazon is actually testing your book. They're seeing how well the book does to determine if they want to push the book for you, right, after the 30 days, or drop your book in page 10, 20, 50 to where nobody finds your book ever again. So that's why in the first 30 days, we want to do the marketing to get sales and reviews to tell Amazon that, hey, look, people love our book. They're leaving good reviews, right? It's also making you guys money because people are buying the book, which means Amazon makes money too, right? This tells Amazon that people like the book, which then they will show it to more people. They're going to push it to more people, right? So that's why you want to do the work up front and you will reap the rewards later. So how do you get reviews? Well, I do have a video on how to get reviews, so I'll leave a link below. So just follow the strategies in this video. And in terms of how to get sales, then you have two options, right? You can promote your book on social media, which is a free way, or you can run Amazon ads, which is the quickest, but you do have to pay a little bit. Either way, just follow this video. I cover both strategies, so I'll leave a link below. So in reality, passive income is a myth, right? There's nothing that is 100% passive, but going through Amazon, tapping into Amazon's organic traffic, it can get pretty passive, especially because let's say you're running Amazon ads to get sales, you can actually outsource this section too. Like you can hire somebody else to run ads for you. I don't even run ads for myself. Like I have a professional that does it for me, right? So I spend less than an hour a week on this business and I still make money. Everything is pretty much passive, right? Except for, I guess, 1 hour a week. So that is the overview of phase 1 of this process, but you can actually do so much more and make so much more money. So let me actually show you that, which takes me to the bonus step, which is scaling. So we just created one book that is on Amazon, right? But believe it or not, you can take this one book and turn it into an additional 7+ income streams. Isn't that crazy? Like you do the work once, you make the book once, and not only will this book keep selling on Amazon semi-passively for years because it's on Amazon, it's getting organic traffic, but on top of that, you can create 7 additional income streams from the work that you already did. Like I've never heard of any other business that allows you to do something like this. So what are the other income streams, right? Well, the first one is audiobooks. So basically turning your book into an audiobook. And as you can see in the statistics here, right? The audiobook market is projected to triple in size in 5 years by 2030. So it is growing like crazy and you definitely want to tap into it. This is my personal results with audiobooks. Like I sold hundreds of thousands of copies of audiobooks and each one you make $3 to $5. Okay, so you do the math here. Like that is hundreds of thousands of dollars just from audiobooks. And for income stream number 2 to 5, basically 2, 3, 4, 5, you upload your book to other bookstores. So like I said, Amazon KDP or selling on Amazon dominates the book market. But what about the other 25, 26%, right? Where people are still buying books outside of Amazon? You can also tap into that. So although this is not the main focus, you can use it to tap into the other, 25, 30% of book buyers. And these are people buying books on Apple, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Scribd, Tolino, and a bunch of other bookstores. Additional income stream number 6 and 7 is translations and bundles. So when I say bundles, this is compiling your book and selling it as a box set. Like, let's say you got 2 books, you put it into a 2-book box set, and that is a whole new book that you can sell. So basically a 3rd book that you made for free because you already had the files, right? And translations is basically translating your book to Spanish, German, French, whatever. And you can tap into foreign markets. Like, it's not just people in the US that buys books, right? Amazon is all over the world and people buy books in those countries too. Crazy concept, right? So that's how you can tap into those people too. As an example, this book right here, this is a English audiobook, not even counting the ebook, not even counting the paperback. This is the audiobook, and just from the audiobook, it's making $100 a day. And just by translating this audiobook from English to Spanish, it's doing an additional $49 a day, $1,500 a month. Just from Spanish, just from audiobooks, not even counting the Spanish paperback, not even counting the Spanish ebooks, right? Not even counting the hardcover. Imagine if you just translate this book into German, French, Italian, and so many more, right? So hopefully you see how crazy this business model is. But, the big question is, how much can you really make with Amazon KDP? I'm hyping this business model up because I love it and I make a lot of money from it, right? But realistically, right, how much can you really make? Well, let me show you some actual student results. So these are people in my coaching program, right? So this student right here made $39 in her first day from her first book. So literally uploaded a book and within 24 hours made $39, which is pretty good. This student made $4,000 profit in a single day. And this student made $161,000 in his first year with about 10 books. Okay, so first year, 161K, 6-figure year, 10 books. And this student made $1 million lifetime royalties in about 2.5 years. Now, unfortunately, I got to blur their face in the name because I had issues with showing student results in the past on YouTube. And then people, search them up on social media and harass them like crazy with a bunch of questions. So that's why from now on, I got to hide their name and face to protect their privacy. But if you're using that as a reason to not believe these screenshots are real, then I honestly don't care. Like, I feel like if you don't believe me at this point, me showing the tax return, me going over the entire business model, showing, literal student results, if you don't believe me at this point, I feel like it's more about you and not about me. I feel like whatever I show, you're not going to believe me anyways, and that's completely fine. Like, I'm not asking everyone to believe me. That's fine. I'm just sharing, what I've learned on YouTube. I'm just a random dude over here, sharing what I learned. I also want you guys to know that these aren't typical results, obviously, right? Like, I cannot make guarantees saying everyone who starts this business will make 100K the first year, or $1 million in a couple years. This all depends on how much you put into it. Because I cannot control how much you put into it, I cannot guarantee results. Like, not everyone takes the same amount of action. Not everyone sticks to something for a consistent period of time. In fact, most people cannot stick to things more than literally couple days. It's just insane. So every time I make these videos, I always get comments of people saying, oh, you shared the secret. Now Amazon's going to get flooded with, bad quality books and everyone's going to do this business and it's going to be too saturated. Guess what, guys? 99.9999% of viewers, people who are watching this video, I guarantee you will not do crap with it. Most people, they're going to get excited, right? They have a lot of ideas flowing. Then they'll probably get, the book title, they get the book outline, and then they start writing chapter 1, and then they quit because it's like too much for them, right? It's too hard, right? So it's crazy how little people can stick to something. So if you can just stick to something for a longer period of time, then you have a huge advantage over what is the average, because the average, the standard of what people do is so low that it's crazy. I honestly cannot believe why people see, this opportunity in front of them and just don't do anything. Even though they always say that they want to change their life, they don't have the money, this and that. Like, they're telling me all the problems and yet they don't take action, right? But anyways, if you can be the one that will actually stick to this and take action, then these results, it's definitely possible. And this is called delayed gratification, right? This business model is extremely simple. And all you have to do is stick to it for a year. Okay, give it a year. But the thing is, sticking to things is a skill most people do not have. Okay, that's why entrepreneurs make a lot of money, because we practice delayed gratification. We don't get paid for a long time while we're building the business, but because we go through that, which most people cannot, we make a lot of money later on once the business is built. Okay, because we're doing something most people aren't willing to do, we get paid very well for it. So the big question is, are you one of those entrepreneurs, right? Are you going to stick to this or not? I don't know. You let me know in the comments below. So if you made it till this point, obviously you are committed, right? And you're serious about this business. You have the blueprint, so you can go and follow this video, right? And get started with it. But if you're serious and you want to work with us, like I said earlier, I do have a coaching program. I'm not forcing you to join. If you don't want to join, just follow my free YouTube videos. That's fine. But if you want to do this fast and shortcut the process of learning and making mistakes, then you can consider applying to our coaching program. Okay. So if you go to the first link in the description, it'll take you to a page like this. You can first off scroll down and see what's included in the program, but also see all the testimonials, a lot more testimonials here, right? And this is what's included in the program, bonuses and stuff like that. But if you click here, apply to join, it'll take you to a form. Okay, you can fill out the form and book a free call with one of our coaches. This call is 30 minutes. You can ask us any questions you want. We can talk and see if this program is a good fit for you. Now, just a disclaimer that this is, once again, a paid coaching program. You will have to invest some money to join our coaching program, because I got to pay a lot of my coaches and teams and stuff like that. So it does cost money. We also don't work with those looking for a get rich quick scheme, because this is not a get rich quick scheme, right? Amazon KDP is a legitimate business model, very, very lucrative, potentially lucrative, one of the best business model I know. And it's something that takes time and effort to build. We also don't work with entitled or rude people. So if you have a really crappy personality, we'll literally tell you on the call that this is probably not a good fit, and we're not going to let you join. So the free call is for us to assess that as well, because this is not just a video course where I give you the lesson and disappear, right? We actually work with you. We do one-on-one calls, we got group calls, we got a community. We interact with you a lot. So if you are a insufferable person, then we're not going to let you in, because our community is super positive and we all support each other, and we don't want that kind of person in. So I'm sure you're not like that, because the fact that you made it all the way here, you're watching this video, you're committed. So we should be good to go there, but just want to let you know. And finally, we don't work with people that we generally don't think we can help. So if we think that this is generally not a good fit, maybe you want to do something completely different than the way we teach it, it's completely fine, but we will straight up tell you, we're not an expert and we're not going to let you in. We're not going to try to sell this to you if it's not a good fit. Anyways, with that being said, if you're interested in learning more about our coaching program, once again, the link is the first one in the description below, as well as all the tools and resources that I mentioned throughout this video. The link is in the description. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let me know that you made it until the end in the comments. Comment made it till the end with a fire emoji. Okay. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.